Welcome to the review of Transformers Prime Powerizer Optimus Prime. Okay, here is Powerizer Optimus Prime, or the other term which is known as Voyager Optimus Prime, compared to comparing the sizes with the first edition Prime. Okay, immediately you can see some distinct differences. Okay, in terms of weaponry, compared to the first edition Prime, the Powerizer Optimus Prime has a sword, okay, which you can see here, comparing, and then the first edition also has a sword, but it's actually more accurate to the cartoon itself. Okay, and both primes, they have weapons, and for the first edition Prime here, which you can see, he has just a dull black weapon, which is more accurate to the series, the cartoon series. But for the Powerizer, if you put it this way, you can have an LED weapon here, which is translucent, which you can see. The other point is, if you compare both primes, virtually the first edition Prime is a bit taller just because of the smokestack, but they are actually both the same height. Okay, looking at the back part of the design for Powerizer Prime, you can see here the obvious differences in color scheme, design, and excuse me, the mold for Powerizer is new, and this one you can flip. It's basically a dull gray color, compared to the Powerizer Prime, which is a bit darker gray, and compared to the smokestacks at the back, this is a larger piece, and this is a smaller piece. Okay, and obvious difference you can see for the paint scheme, and the way you flip it is this is how you flip this part out for Powerizer, and for first edition you can just pull it this way out. Okay, different way of transformation, as you can see. And look at the legs, the design is a bit different as well. And the other obvious differences is for both Optimus Primes. Okay, the Autobot logo is somewhat the first edition Prime suffers from a dull Autobot logo, which the Powerizer Prime has a better Autobot logo. And the other obvious difference is from the chest plate, which this part here, when transformed into vehicle mode, doesn't form the front of the vehicle, the mirror. And as for this part here, it folds. It's a translucent, and also you can see a bit of toning in the chest plate itself. More or less, these designs are the same, except for the head. If you look closely at the first edition, okay, you can see his head is much of a better design than the Powerizer, compared to the Powerizer version, which is a bit small compared to the first edition Prime. Okay, and the other difference is both primes, on the hands, the Powerizer has a translucent blue see-through plastic, whereby the first edition Prime does not. And you can see they for the design for the first edition, you can see compared to the first edition, the Powerizer Prime actually uses. Now for the obvious differences is the basically the color scheme. This is of a darker red and this is of a lighter red. The torso or the lower body or the stomach comparison is darker. This is lighter. And basically that's it. This Powerizer has no waist articulation. He has a bit of waist articulation, but due to transformation. Okay, and for the Powerizer, you can swivel his lower torso, his upper leg part near the thigh, all the way a full turn. Okay, on the first edition, you are unable to get that done. Okay, because you can see there's no segment here. Okay, let's concentrate on the legs. You can obviously see the more differences between the primes, between these two Voyager primes. This is basically an improvement from, and also on the vehicle mode, which comparison will be coming right up soon. And obviously you can see that on the first edition Prime he has his tires of mounted near his shoulders, which the Powerizer Prime does not have. And the shoulder pads are a bit raised on the first edition, in which the Powerizer does not have that as well. Okay, basically these are all the comparisons that I can come up with for robot mode. For vehicle mode, I feel that I will give an honest opinion. This is honestly a decent Prime Voyager. And for those who have missed this part, the first edition, if he's too overpriced, I would get this guy first. But for the accuracy for the Transformers Prime series, I rather get this. It's basically a individual preference in between those two. Okay, and basically there's nothing much to say for these two figures. But for the detailing on the first edition, on the neck area, you can see the mechanical workings of his neck, and on the Powerizer version it's not that visible. The tires on the other end are the same. They are both, it's reused. No differences in color scheme at all. And as for the hands, it's the same. The fist, the parts have been reused. But when you look at the feet, the first edition is larger, and the Powerizer one is a bit shorter due to the mold design. Okay, more reviews coming for the vehicle to vehicle comparison, and the actual review for the Powerizer will also be coming up shortly. This is the Prime.